In this video we want to talk about industrial democracy and employee relations, specifically within the context of the European Union. We'll start by looking at industrial democracy. The European Union concept is based on unity and a single market. So if we look at all of the processes within Europe, they're all culminating in this idea of a single European market and based on a unity of purpose of all the individual states within Europe. They all subscribe to a set of rules and follow those rules. So there is unity and a single market within Europe. The Union is a trading bloc. A trading bloc means a group of countries coming together to promote certain trade ambitions. This is a trading bloc where barriers to trade have been removed and importing and exporting have been encouraged. So internally, this is an internal market. All of the countries who are members of the European Union have free movement of goods and people within the territory of covered by the individual states, within the territory of Europe. So it's meant to promote trade. Employment relations play an important role within the European Union. The aim is to ensure that there is consistency regarding employment. It's important that each of the individual states have essentially the same rules. Otherwise, one state could gain a competitive advantage over others by having poorer employee relations, in the sense of poor salaries and wages and poor working conditions, and thereby gain a competitive advantage. So it's important that all of the countries are ruled by the same set of rules and that they are applied fairly and equally right throughout the region. Now this means policing of the rules to make sure that the rules are adhered to, and careful negotiations at the times when the rules are drawn up to ensure that individual member states are not disadvantaged. The social charter was introduced to ensure employees have rights and a degree of power of management in management decision making. So the social charter was an idea that's come to fruition, it's come into existence, that tries to ensure that employees have rights and are consulted in management decision making. The focus of the social charter is to improve working conditions for employees and also the effective integration of human resources in the European Union. In other words, that there is consistency right throughout the European Union in terms of how management deal with workers, deal with employees, and that they are all treated fairly right throughout the European Union. Under the social charter, employees have rights such as freedom of movement. They can move from one country to another. They should have fair remuneration. Of course, it's difficult to define what we mean by fair, but they should have fair remuneration, whatever that means. Should have improved living and working conditions. Again, very difficult to measure these and to implement them, but nonetheless they're statements of aspiration at least. So there should be improved living and working conditions. There should be freedom to choose a union and collective bargaining. They should be able to join a trade union if they so choose. There should be training and vocational opportunities. And there should be health and safety in the workplace. There should be equal opportunities for men and women. There should not be discrimination. In fact, there should not be discrimination on many different levels against disabled, against all personnel within the community who have different views, different cultures, different backgrounds, different orientations, whatever. The equal opportunities for all within the context of the social charter. There should be protection against discrimination. The employer should not be able to discriminate and favour one group over another by virtue of colour, religion, culture, or whatever basis. Industrial democracy is a movement encouraging employee rights to decision making concerning their employment. So the idea of industrial democracy is to encourage the employees into the decision making process concerning their employment. It's the involvement of the employees within the context of the working situation. Employees are involved in decision making, sharing responsibilities and authority within the workplace. When the employees are involved in this way, there is industrial democracy. Management takes some responsibility, employees take some responsibility, there's discussions between the two as to the best way forward, there's collaboration. It's industrial democracy. Industrial democracy encourages two-way communications between employees and management. They should be able to speak to each other, and there should be open channels of communication. The management should be easily able to speak to the employees and the other way around. And this will promote not just good employee relations, but perhaps more productivity within the organisation. Employee participation plays a key role in industrial democracy. It's important that the employees are involved, otherwise there would not be democracy. There would only be one side. There will only be management. So clearly employees must participate, must be involved in the organisation, must be consulted on decision making, must understand the aims and objectives and the strategies being pursued by the organisation. So the employees must be involved if there is to be industrial democracy. Under the European legislation, employers must provide consistency, transparency, correct information, consultation, and worker participation. In other words, there should be an openness on the part of management in relationship to its workforce, an openness which shows exactly the current state of the business, the direction the business is going, the plans the business has got. These should be made aware or communicated to the employees, so they are aware of what's happening and they can make decisions that's in their best interest. It should be done consistently as well. It should be not a one-off. This should be a consistent and continuous process of informing the employees, updating them, consulting with them, getting their views and involving them. The European Works Council is an initiative established to encourage the European vision for employment relations. So the European Union set up this idea of the European Work Council. Now the European Work Council, the EWC, was established in 1994. And mainly it's aimed at multinational corporations working within the European Union. So it's really aimed at multinational corporations, trying to get them to have more openness, more consistency, more involvement of their workforce. The European Works Council is aimed at encouraging employee participation through regular communication between management and employees. It's important that the two-way channel that I spoke about a moment ago is in place and it's maintained. The management should be easily able to contact the employees and have full, frank and open discussions with them. And the employees should be able to consult with management, seek clarification, discuss issues, raise concerns and have full discussions which will clarify points and enable them to make good and rational decisions about the processes that are in place within the organisation and what's likely to happen perhaps in the near future. As part of the European movement, managers must listen to, and consult with employees any major changes that will affect them and the organisation. So it's only fair that the workers are kept informed. If the management know that there is a problem or an issue, they should let the employees know. If the management are planning to open a new line of production or move country or close a plant or whatever it is, the employees should be consulted. And that's the idea behind industrial democracy, where there is a respect for each side, and each side will keep each other informed of what they're thinking, what the processes are, what the issues that are concerning them, and there's full, free, open consultation, discussion, debate, and clarification of all the points on the way through. So each side are aware of what the other side's doing and thinking, and in that way the organisation can more effectively plan its future, its commercial future. So these were some ideas about industrial democracy, the social charter, the European framework for employee relations. And that's all we're going to deal with in this short talk. So let's leave it at that and say thank you for watching.